The Jimmy Z Show.
So they want to keep the globe's population where it is today. They're talking about zero population growth for the next 40 years. So what are they going to do? Are they going to go to India and Africa, go into some of the poorest areas of the world and force abortion? What the hell are they talking about here? Meanwhile, Zhao said studies have also shown that family planning programs are more efficient in helping cut emissions, citing research by Thomas Weir of London's School of Economics that states, quote, each $7 spent on basic family planning would reduce CO2 emissions by more than 1 ton, whereas it would cost $13 for reduced deforestation, $24 to use wind technology, $51 for solar power, $93 for introducing hybrid cars, and $131 for electric vehicles. So to hell with all the green technology. Obama could come back from Copenhagen with a forced abortion policy. And this concept of cutting back, the most efficient way, we just read it in black and white, the most efficient way to cut global carbon emissions is population control. And this representative from China is boasting about the way they did it, which includes forced abortions. The goal being zero population growth. This takes us straight to the White House, to Obama's science czar, John Holdren, who called for forced abortions. He's in the White House. He is Obama's science czar. This is at WorldNet Daily. We talked about this on the Jimmy Z Show months ago. The man President Obama has chosen to be his science czar once advocated a shocking approach to the population crisis feared by scientists at the time, namely compulsory abortions in the U.S. and a planetary regime with the power to enforce human reproduction restrictions. John Holdren wrote the following in 1977. There exists ample authority under which population growth could be regulated. It has been concluded that compulsory population control laws, even including laws requiring compulsory abortion, could be sustained under the existing Constitution if the population crisis became sufficiently severe to endanger society. We are not talking simply about population control because the population is too dense on the planet and the planet cannot sustain that much life. We are talking about something more insidious. When John Holdren writes here that the population crisis could become sufficiently severe to endanger the society, those words can now be applied to the danger posed by 8 billion plus people exhaling carbon dioxide. Carbon is the tool now that these radicals can use globally to tell everyone on the planet we have to have zero population growth, because if we don't, we are going to have climate change all over the place, and that is a danger to your family and our family, so we need to cut back on having children. We need zero population growth, and if you're not going to do it willingly, we will force abortion, because we cannot have the climate threatened by all of that carbon dioxide all you evil people are expelling into the atmosphere. Good Lord, God Almighty. All of this I'm talking about is in the show notes. You can forward it along as a package if you want, copy the links and tell people to read it. But better yet, send this particular show, the Jimmy Z Thursday show, to your relatives, your friends, your neighbors, and your coworkers, because they need to hear this. I am not a conspiracy nut, but all of this that's going on is documented. This is not just, let's see if we can hurt the U.S. economy anymore. This is about zero population growth. This Chinese representative opens up the whole can of worms. I'll read this again because this is the case that they make for zero population growth. Studies have also shown that family planning programs are more efficient in helping cut emissions, that's the dreaded CO2, citing research by Thomas Weir of London School of Economics that states, quote, each $7 spent on basic family planning would reduce CO2 emissions by more than 1 ton, whereas it would cost $13 for reduced deforestation, $24 to use wind technology, $51 for solar power, $93 for introducing hybrid cars, and $131 for electric vehicles. Do you think it is mere coincidence that Obama has this guy in the White House, his science czar, John Holdren, who has advocated just 30 years ago for a worldwide plan of limited population growth through the use of forced abortion, and that this could be sustained under the existing U.S. Constitution if the population crisis became sufficiently severe to endanger society? The population crisis they're talking about now is climate change as a result of the poison that you and I spew every time we exhale. Zhao admitted that China's population program is not without consequences, as the country is entering the aging society fast and facing the problem of gender imbalance. That is the result of aborting far more female babies than male babies. Quote, I'm not saying that what we have done is 100% right, but I'm sure we are going in the right direction, and now 1.3 billion people have benefited. Wow. The benefit is that we're going to make sure that not so many babies are born through forced abortions, and those people who are living will benefit by that. Man, that's cold. Zhao said some 85% of the Chinese women in reproductive age use contraceptives, the highest rate in the world. This has been achieved largely through education and improvement of people's lives, Zhao said. This holistic approach that integrates a policy on population and development, a strategy promoting sustainable development of population, resources, and environment, should serve as a model for integrating population programs into the framework of climate change adaptation, Zhao said. Well, there you have it. I am just sitting here stunned. My mind is boggled. As bad as I thought this Copenhagen gathering was, this representative from China has opened my eyes. It's worse than any of us had imagined. I know there's going to be some of you, perhaps even some of you who are listening right now, who think that this just sounds too far out there. They're really not going to do this. The President of the United States is not going to go there and buy into this stuff. But it's all in place. Obama knows what this guy, John Holdren, has advocated. If he didn't know, let's say that Obama had no idea. If he didn't want him there, he would have fired him immediately when the news broke. Oh, man, are you telling me that John Holdren has advocated for forced abortions? We got to fire him. No, nothing like that has happened. It's not like Obama got the news and realized what a mistake he'd made and got rid of John Holdren right away. John Holdren is still there. I could spend the rest of the show just jabbering about that, but I want to get your response to this. I want you to write comments on my show page or send email. I want to hear what you think. You can write your comments on the Jimmy Z show page or send email to thejimmyzshow@gmail.com.
The Jimmy Z Show.